Listen, I just want to tell you, this is some of the bipartisan stuff that many of us got elected to Congress to actually do. Many of us don't like to shout at the rain all day. We want to find solutions. And I wish that many of you could join us for our lunch in between. You know, I was with my dear colleague on the Democratic side, Schweikert, and we had a great discussion about this issue, not for the cameras, but I just want you to know that there are people in Congress, whether they're Republican, whether they're Democrat, whether they're independent, that really want to keep this country moving forward. And this is a big issue that we do have bipartisan support. So to that end, Mr. Chairman, I also want to thank you for having this hearing. I want to thank the ranking member as well. But I also want to thank the witnesses for being here today to discuss this critical need to reauthorize the 4B of the Social Security Tax Act. Last week, alongside my dear friend, Representative Larson, I introduced the Promoting Community-Based Prevention Services Act. This legislation will allow states greater flexibility in their allocations of funds to family resource centers. When parents feel supported, families thrive, and that is why I'm proud to help guarantee these resources can be available in every community across the country for every family that might need them. Ms. Hilton, I do want to say you've got a tremendous team, and I see some of them behind you today. They work extremely hard. They are in our offices a lot, talking about the issues that are very important to you, and all credit to your team on that. Family First requires the Qualified Residential Treatment Programs, or the QRTPs, to have a licensed clinical staff available 24/7. Based on your advocacy and the experience, are these staffing requirements being met consistently and effectively?
Well, thank you. My team and I love working with you and your team, and happy birthday to your mom as well.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the committee's work on Family First. I'm not a policy expert, but based on my lived experience, the staff are untrained and unfit to work with children. Licensed staff is important, but the floor staff, the people who do the overnight shifts and the hard work, they need to be looked at as well. These facilities keep staffing costs as low as possible to increase the bottom line. In my case, many staff enjoyed abusing the children because they knew they could get away with it. They would take kids to rooms without cameras, beat them up, and physically and sexually abuse them. There's a lot of sexual abuse that happens. I just heard a situation right now where a 12-year-old foster youth is pregnant because she was sexually abused by staff. I think we need stronger oversight over who works with children, as children are dying at the hands of these staff.
And really, as kind of as a follow-up to that, what further training or education requirements should be imposed on staff in these facilities to better support and protect our youth, in your opinion?
I think that there needs to be checks on these people and background checks as well, and they need to be trained in how to deal with children. And I think that you guys could speak better on that.
Well, that's all right. I'm about down to a minute, and I appreciate your testimony, Ms. Peterson. I did want to talk to you. But Mr. Geen, I wanted to touch upon something, because your opening testimony, all of you, mentioned the young people that are in foster care, that are through the adoption process today, and that help is on the way, and that we want them to be, we want them to know that there's something on the other side. And to that end, your founder, Mr. Thomas, Thomas has been a legend, not only in Columbus and the 15th Congressional District, but across the world. And what I want people to know today, I know his daughter, Lori, is a dear friend of mine. His granddaughter, Allie, is a good friend of mine. But what he was able to do, given his situation, and if you look at the franchisees with the Wendy's Corporation across the country, because of what he did, he created more than 200,000 jobs. Every life matters. And I want everybody who's listening and watching today to know that. And I appreciate all of you coming in here today. It means a lot. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you. Mr. Panetta.
Nice job, Mike.